Okay, I'm going to give some student feedback for week 4's homework. This is Alfonso's work. So thanks for submitting, Alfonso. I'm going to go through all your stuff and give you some feedback. So first thing is the topic is form and tone. From what I see from your drawings, I don't know if it's the scan quality or it's your actual, or if it's a good representation of what you were actually drawing. Is the tone is not pushed far enough. So let's say, on one end of the spectrum you have pure white, other end of the spectrum we've got pure black, right? And this is all the gradations in between. Looking at all your work, everything is kind of, in that area, So what you're gonna need to do is you really need to push the contrast. So I mean, one way, is just with the computer, but with your own pencils, like this is more what we want. Like, yeah. I understand that it may not be, like, the way you scanned it or photographed it may not be a good representation, but anyways, see over here now we've got a little bit more of like lightest, the middle range, and then the darkest. You know what I mean? Let me give you some feedback on your drawing. So looking at this this cube over here, I can see that you put in some guidelines as well. You're putting in horizon lines over there, but things are not matching up. So let's just say this is vanishing point 1. And this is where you put vanishing point 2. So you're going to want these to all be lining up over here. That lines up. So you've got that much correct. That's all good. Then what's starting to get a little crooked is this area here. So for this point, let's just say it's there. For this point, you've got to want that one's going to that vanishing point, and this is going to go to that vanishing point, right? So you've got to have this line going here, and this line goes there. That's how you do it. It can get a little confusing sometimes which vanishing point goes where, but yeah, you just make sure that one is going that direction, this one's going that direction. Let's just say we're doing it freehand, right? Now, every time I want to draw a freehand cube, I don't want to have to measure out, put a horizon line, here's vanishing point 1, vanishing point 2. It gets very, very tedious. So let me just point out stuff to you. So as we can see with the vanishing points, you can see these lines. So these lines are going to this vanishing point, right? These lines are going to that vanishing point. But you can see how the lines are going, like they're converging. They're going in on themselves to the vanishing point over here. They're going in on each other. Over here, they're also going inward, right? Converging to this vanishing point over here. Now, when we draw this freehand, we don't have to actually calculate the vanishing point. We can just make it look like it's going off into that direction. So what I mean is, so when I'll start to draw, right? There's one line, right? And then one line there, right? and I don't have to like go and calculate where these lines meet up. I just have to draw them in a way that makes them look that like if I logically continue that line, I would find that mystery vanishing point over here. So you just want it to look like things are converging. Here. Full perspective shot isn't. So that's it's going to converge at this mystery point over there. Kind of thing. So this is the 3-point, 2-point perspective. You know, when I'm drawing another box, right, just at a different angle. Again. Yeah, again, I didn't go in and go, okay, here's my horizon line, and then vanishing point is here, and vanishing point is there. I just make it look like if I were to continue this line, we would see that convergence, and it's going to that vanishing point somewhere in the distance. See, you know? Oh, and that one is going in that direction. This one is going in that direction. Do you see what I mean? That's how we can get that illusion without having to draw everything out. I guess, yeah, over here with your pyramid. Again, it's based off of a cube. We have center line going up. So you're going to want, here's that. So yeah, that pyramid is based off of a cube. And if we could see it, that line would go up to there as well. That's the base. With cylinders, you're gonna make sure you do like a center line. Here's a center line, and then when you draw this the ellipses, right? You're gonna want to try and make sure that that side equals that side as best you can. So as best you can. Like that's how you check. If this side equals this side, then your cylinder is looking good. If I'm on the computer, I have the luxury of being able to go, you know, with my ellipse tool, you know, that, stroke it. Here's my other one. And that's the perfect ellipse. See what I mean? And each side is equal. Cool. Next thing, we've got some construction. Yep, very good attempt. Just in the future, for future reference, when you do this kind of stuff, please try and post the image which you were using as a reference, so I can sort of compare. I look at your drawing and I really don't know how accurate this was compared to what it was you were drawing from. Yeah, but just off the top of my head, I've got a few suggestions. I just doubled your image over here, made it blue. When I'm constructing, let's have a look what you've done. So you've got your center line here. Okay, cool. Goes around. Goes around. So this area is sort of like that, the side of the head. Correct. Yeah, because he's looking down. So that's because this is where the jaw comes from there. Like this line is where then the ear would come out of there. Let's have a look. When you're drawing, yeah, again, I don't know how accurate this is, but I can just say when you're drawing anything that's cylindrical, like all these cylinders here, try and make sure you draw like draw the whole thing through. See, that's your center point. It's going there, going there. That's right. Again, you put this big arm in the way, so I would try and get stuff where the arm is not obstructing. But let's see. Torso here. Okay, see the head looks like it's pushed too far to that side. As you can see, like, okay, so this is your torso, right? This is my magic center line, right? Center line, center line. So the neck should kind of lie somewhere there, right? That would be like the neck should be like the neck hole should be in between, and this is where the rests. And where the arm should slot in as well. So it feels like her neck should be a little bit pushed that way, so it can kind of fit in there, which means the head should be pushed that way a little bit. Yeah. Then for the arms, yeah, just draw that cylinder, bring it back. Add the other arm. Kind of thing. So, I mean, I guess we could fix everything right now. I'll just take this head. I can move it. So with that head, I'll just make sure I'll put that proper neck. So neck would come out of here. Just think of it as another cylinder. Right. Head, I guess we would put it more here. Do you see what I mean? How it's gotta fit a bit better like that. So now it looks like it fits. Yeah, looks more natural. Cool. And again, I need your original reference image to really help me. But just going off what you've done, where you put your own center lines and all this kind of stuff, like that's what I would do to fix it. Arm, legs, yep. What else can I do? Yeah, this is where you get. This would be the hole that you've got to put that leg into, right? So again. But it's a good attempt. You're getting that idea. That's really good. Feet are a little wonky, like it's sort of nondescript. Something that you can think of the feet as. Let's go from side view. You can think of like that. And here's like the heel kind of thing. And then front. I don't know if it's like if the foot's pointing down or if it's pointing at me. What does it look like? Well, anyways, what I would do here is I would just but feet are an issue for everybody. It's just putting in that heel and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's what I would do for that. And then what's happening with this arm? I mean, yeah, it's pretty alright. Put that cylinder in there. Right. Put that cylinder. Oh yeah, also what you're doing here is good. You considering the shoulders as spheres. That's pretty good. That's helpful. Sphere. Yeah, so like sphere connected to a cylinder. Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. And then, the skin comes on top and stuff. That's a muscle. But yeah, muscles later. But this is just. See if I can touch up some of the anatomy. Oh, it's just collarbone. But yeah, we'll get into muscles later. But I think I hope that helps you there. What else? Your squirrel. Let's have a look. When you submit the work, try and get a little bit of better image quality. See, it's all blue and all messed up. Like if you have access to Photoshop, Control U, just desaturate that. So I take Control U, go to desaturate, Control L, raising my levels. I'm just gonna bring more black and increase the whites as best you can. Anyways, yeah, this is a very nice drawing over there. Just how I would construct it. Always over here, it's always animals like this. Like it's kind of like Pikachu. Like what's happening with the anatomy over here? Like you have to actually go look at their skeleton to actually see what's going on. There's like a bone here that goes and it goes like this, but like the whole thing is encased in like flat in fur, which so you actually don't see how it's going on. Like I'm just looking at, I just pulled up this image from Google of a squirrel leg. Like as you can see, like it's so deceptive. Like all this is covered in the flesh. You don't see that bend. So it's just something like if you are struggling with like trying to figure out like what's going on here, I would always recommend looking up a skeleton so you can sort of see what's going on. That'll help you. But for this character, for this little squirrel, yeah, you were pretty on point. I would just how would I I'll sort of just break it down like, okay, ball for its shoulder. Let's get that. Ball for his shoulder. And then again, here's one cylinder attached. And then another cylinder. And it's going this way. I'm just erasing like the construction underneath, just so we can keep everything together. Like that hidden part of the cylinder over there, I'm just erasing that. And then its hands, you can sort of consider them as like, let's see, how can I explain it? It's like here's a patch for his thumb. It's like it's sort of like this, almost like a amorphous kind of blob. It's sort of like, okay, here's sort of blob of the hand, and then you have your fingers. Another finger. That ball of his knuckle. Okay. What do you do with the head? Yeah, that's pretty cool. I guess with the body, I would separate it into sections instead of having one big blob. I would sort of go. I always consider like the upper rib cage. And then this whole center line, this sort of blob. Like this magic center line. Let's get it. Like that's my center line, and then it would come up over here as well. The center line is sort of more there. You don't see much of his other siding. It's pretty much there. Yeah, it's always useful to keep center lines in mind. And then again, for his legs, just say let's consider that knee, another sphere, which I'm going to attach. So here's one cylinder, because remember we were looking at the skeleton, so here's one cylinder, here's the knee attached to another foot there. So erase that a bit. So again, the ball of the knee was there, the cylinder, and the foot is like a long, it's like that. It's long, like a long thing like that, which we're then going to insert some toes into. The toes are like little sausages. Tail, what do you do for the tail? The tail was okay. And oh yeah, and even we can consider the eye, right? Consider the eye as a sphere or a ball encased in flesh. So what I would do is I would consider that to be the whole. Let's see, it's this whole ball, right? That's the ball of the eye, and then we have the skin that goes over on top. That's how I would consider that eye. Nose, it's like, yeah, it's like its own little sort of blobby ball attached. Yeah, I think that's it. So I hope that helps. What else? And the construction was pretty good. Again, just like I said, break it up to the top torso, then the bottom, then the bottom half. Check out the skeleton of the animals you're drawing. When you have tricky situations like this where the fur is covering a lot of that. Yeah, but yeah, really great effort, Alfonso. I hope this helps. Please let me know if there is anything that I was not clear enough about, anything that I missed, or you weren't quite sure, and I'll get back to you. Okay, cool.